What happens when two of the fiercest personalities in combat sports history aren't throwing fists but sharing laughs? Picture this. Conor McGregor, MMA's mercurial notorious, throws open the doors of his famed Black Forge Inn in Dublin, not for a fight night but for a birthday bash. And his guest of honor, none other than 50 Cent, the hip-hop heavyweight who once traded barbs with McGregor on social media. That's right, the same man McGregor once branded with a 4-letter insult is now grinning beside him over pints of Guinness. This isn't your typical celebrity meetup. Behind the casual photos lies years of trash talk, viral memes, and challenges that set social feeds ablaze. Fans who remember the bus attack mockery and McGregor's taunts before Floyd Mayweather will do a double take. How did sworn enemies wind up hugging on Irish soil? And why is this reunion only the beginning of some of the wildest twists in MMA's recent history? From talk of a UFC card on the White House lawn to heated weight miss controversies and callouts that echo across gyms, the ripple effects of this unexpected friendship promise drama at every turn. Over the next 8 chapters, we'll unpack every jaw-dropping moment, the raw origins of their feud, Conor's audacious politics meets punches pitch, the fighter reactions that range from taunts to outright disbelief, and the behind-the-scenes gym drama that shows how words outside the cage can land harder than any kick. By the end, you'll see why this story isn't just about two icons making peace. It's a window into an industry where alliances shift faster than a KO blow, and nothing is more electrifying than the next plot twist. Ready for the ride? Let's dive in. It began with a single Instagram story. Amber pub lighting, foamy pints, and Conor McGregor's grin pressed against 50 Cent's diamond bright smile. No staged handshake. Just two swaggering egos inside Dublin's Black Forge Inn. Within minutes, the clip rocketed across X and TikTok. Fans froze mid-scroll. Weren't these two sworn enemies? Comments exploded, some cheering, others calling it a stunt, everyone hungry for answers. McGregor's staff kept the spectacle rolling. Servers marched out proper 12 shots, one for every year since the feud began. 50 Cent clinked glasses, winked and teasing, 9 more and I'm challenging him for the lightweight strap. The bar erupted. Then the DJ spun into club and McGregor, never skipping a spotlight, belted the first verse word perfect before switching to a Gaelic toast to new chapters and old lessons. In that instant, history flipped on its head. Outside, rain misted over Dublin as reporters waited for a quote. Instead, McGregor slipped through the doorway, arm in arm with his one-time foe, waving cameras aside. Tonight's about good spirits, lads, he grinned. No mention of Mayweather, no talk of streaming numbers, just an improbable peace sealed with stout foam. Speculation detonated online. Was this genuine forgiveness, a clever business play, or the quiet before a louder storm? Whatever the motive, one truth rang out. The notorious showman had flipped his biggest grudge into Dublin's loudest celebration, while the Queen's Rap King toasted the unpredictable ceasefire. Yet this birthday toast was only the opening bell. The moment the live stream ended, whispers began. How did two titans travel from lyrical haymakers to laughing over whiskey? To answer that, we need to rewind to the night the feud ignited, and the trash talk that nearly spiraled past the point of no return. Rewind to summer 2017. McGregor, knee-deep in pre-fight bravado for his boxing crossover with Floyd Mayweather, searched for angles to rattle team money. Out of nowhere, he fired a digital haymaker at Mayweather's longtime friend. 50 Cent is a 40-year-old Instagram blocker. The jab went viral, but it was only round 1. 50 clapped back within hours, roasting McGregor's bespoke suits and posting memes of Mayweather leaving Conor flat on the canvas. Then came the infamous Brooklyn bus attack in 2018. McGregor's dolly toss made global headlines and 50 Cent weaponized it, sharing slow-motion clips with the caption, "Never bring a dolly to a street fight." The rap icon's followers piled on, stoking the narrative that McGregor's swagger crumbled outside a sanctioned cage. Conor fired right back. Between training sessions, he tweeted a Photoshop of himself knocking 50 through a turnbuckle, tagging it, "Celebrity scrap anytime, slick." Talk of an exhibition bout simmered, then flared again in 2020 when quarantine boredom sent both men hunting for content. 50 mocked McGregor's quick tap to Khabib, calling him "champ tap a lot." Conor tossed the insult aside but dragged family into it, claiming 50's less than platinum bank account couldn't afford front row seats. That crossed a line. 50 threatened legal smoke and brandished old headlines about Conor's court cases. For 4 straight years they traded low blows, money, ego, even parenting choices, each volley landing millions of impressions. Fans assumed the beef would only end in a ring or courtroom, so when July 2025 served up a hugging selfie instead of hand wraps, jaws dropped. Social media detectives scoured timelines for clues, but all roads pointed back to that Dublin pub. And just as viewers started to digest the truce, another headline crashed in, one that made a birthday party look tame by comparison. The curveball came from Pennsylvania Avenue. During a 4th of July rally, former President Donald Trump announced a world-class UFC extravaganza on the White House lawn for July 4th, 2026, America's 250th birthday. Within seconds, McGregor's thumbs were flying. He posted, "I'll headline as President of Ireland, lads. Start the anthem." 23 words, infinite chaos. Pundits laughed, critics rolled eyes, but fight fans lit up. Could a cage even be assembled on federal turf? Would Congress need to sign off? Logistics aside, McGregor's declaration overshadowed the parade. Sports networks replayed it on a loop, and odds makers opened lines on who might share the bill. Then Ali Abdulaziz, manager to Khabib, detonated a reply. "The White House plans strict drug tests. We know who fails those. Maybe China will host you, Coke King." The jab cut deep, dredging up Conor's party boy image without saying the forbidden word outright. McGregor laughed it off with a selfie holding sparkling water captioned "clean as Irish rain," but the seed was planted. Hours later, John Jones chimed in. Freshly re-entered in the USADA pool, he tweeted, "Testing water's fine. The lawn looks roomy." Fans sensed the heavyweight goat sniffing one last megabucks payday. American prospects piled on. "Put me on the lawn" became the overnight hashtag. Merchandise mock-ups with an octagon superimposed on the south portico popped up before dawn. Critics called it circus politics. Supporters called it once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. Dana White, never shy on hype, smirked during a scrum. "If the lawn's big enough, we'll use it." And as speculation climbed, attention shifted to the draft fight card circulating online, a list so stacked it left even hardcore fans split over which bout deserved top billing. One anonymous graphic designer, handle @WestTillDeath, posted the first mock card: Jones versus Tom Aspinall, McGregor versus Michael Chandler, Strickland Adesanya 2, and Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Corey Sandhagen. Within an hour, the image racked up 500,000 likes. But praise quickly turned to nitpicking. "Where's Ilya Makhachev?" griped one thread. "Conor as co-main? Blasphemy," another scoffed. John Jones poured gasoline on the conversation, commenting beneath a fan edit of him ground and pounding Aspinall on the Rose Garden. "I like this. Tempting." Meanwhile, Chandler retweeted the mock poster with a single eyeball emoji. The signal was clear: sign the contract and they'll show. Yet Abdelaziz refused to let hype outrun his fighter's narrative. He posted a doctored ticket stub reading "invalid, failed powder test," tagging McGregor. Conor answered with an old photo of Abdelaziz backstage holding energy drinks captioned, "Worried about caffeine, Ali?" The exchange kept feeds buzzing while Dana White quietly checked venue regulations with the Secret Service. Amid the circus, up-and-comers smelled opportunity. Georgia's Shara Bullet Magomedov tweeted, "White House debut? Count me in." Merab Dvalishvili upped the ante. "I'll open the show, then run laps around the reflecting pool." Even retired legends teased comebacks, each hoping to ride the most audacious fight week in history. Still, not everyone cheered. Traditionalists called it disrespectful to turn a national landmark into pay-per-view turf. Journalists questioned whether VIP tents would block protesters. Yet controversy only amplified interest, the UFC's favorite fuel. And while the world argued over hypothetical matchups, a different feud flared in real time. Old weigh-in receipts resurfaced, accusations flew, and two lightweight contenders tried to tear each other's reputations to shreds. The White House lawn suddenly felt tame compared with the Scalegate brewing online. Screenshots can be sharper than elbows, and Arman Tsarukyan knew it. One swipe through his X feed and fans saw a carousel of receipts claiming ILIA Topuria missed weight not once, but 3 times. The proof? A 2018 Cage Warriors bout where ILIA tipped the scale 4 pounds heavy, a scratch Jourdain match, and most damning, an alleged 155.6 readout magically edited to 155 flat for UFC 317. Arman captioned it confident, "Fairy tales weigh light, truth tips heavier." Topuria fired back in typical swagger, posting his clean 145 on the dot photo from last week. He wrote smugly, "Screenshots don't sweat, fighters do." He called Arman taunting Mr. Nina backspasm, referencing the Georgian's own infamous pullout, then added a brief aggressive "cry louder." Fans split instantly. One camp praised Arman's whistleblowing, another mocked him for using a random burner account as evidence. Algorithms feasted on the back and forth, pushing hashtag Scalegate into trending territory. Meanwhile, nutritionists jumped in, calculating water cut percentages like Wall Street quants. Pundits reminded everyone that missing weight means forfeiting purse chunks, something neither man enjoys. The tension built until even neutral pros chimed in. Justin Gaethje tweeted a popcorn gif. Dustin Poirier wrote, "Resigned, scale drama always louder than fight night." Dana White watched the storm from the sidelines, knowing controversy means clicks and clicks mean buys. By week's end, Arman had dug himself deeper, accusing the commission of a cover-up, but fans noticed he ignored his own 2019 miss. Hypocrisy? Maybe. Marketing? Definitely. Either way, both lightweights were suddenly headline material, mission accomplished, yet reputational barbs were only act one. A fresh wave of trash talk was forming, and its mouthpiece sounded suspiciously like a McGregor protege. Ian Machado Gary doesn't whisper. He tweets in capital letters. Fresh off a routine morning run, he uploaded a selfie outside Chicago's United Center with the caption, "Confident UFC 319. Bilal, let's give your hometown a night it won't forget." Within minutes, Bilal, remember the name Muhammad, counterposted a wall of text so polished it looked AI generated. Fans roasted him. Bro fed the prompt straight into Chatty PT. Gary sees the meme responding, challenging, "If you can't out-talk me, you can't outbox me." Bilal, unfazed, pivoted. He reignited his campaign to face Kamaru Usman, a man who'd already slept him with elbows. Determined, run it back or run away, he wrote. Critics pounced. Calling out a retired ex-champ sounds like ducking the rising Irishman. Bilal insisted Usman was insisting avoiding him, but the timeline said otherwise. Usman was setting up business ventures, not mitt sessions. The back and forth fed every MMA subreddit. Photoshop wizards depicted Gary wearing a bargain bin McGregor beard, while Bilal donned a graduation cap labeled ChatGPT valedictorian. Even Nate Diaz chimed in. Casual, these dudes writing novels, I'm smoking. Gary capitalized on the chaos, challenging Bilal to accept home court humiliation in Chi-Town. He ended each interview with a dagger, taunting, "Don't let your city down." Bilal tried to flip the script, Ian's a Conor cosplay, but every retort sounded scripted, reinforcing Gary's jab. By the weekend, Vegas books listed Gary as a slight favorite, purely off momentum, not rankings. Dana watched, grinning. UFC 319 ticket presale interest spiked 18%. Trash talk once again sold seats. And as Bilal weighed his options, a separate subplot bubbled. One gym had just exiled its loudest resident, proving words really can cost you mat time. Team Quest in Temecula is legendary for grind-heavy sparring and blue-collar respect. Sean Strickland loved the first part, pushing pace till partners puked, but botched the second. According to Dan Hendo Henderson, the final straw wasn't a bloody nose or a cracked rib, it was Strickland's thumbs. After every heated round, Sean jumped online naming partners and airing soft accusations. Henderson warned him, keep what happens in the room in the room. Strickland nodded, then hit record again. One afternoon, he live-streamed a rant about cowards who tapped to body shots. The clip featured a teammate's face in the background glazed with exhaustion. Comments exploded, the teammate's DMs filled with troll fire. Henderson, an Olympic wrestler who values silent grind, saw reputations being scorched for likes. He pulled Strickland aside. Next post like that, you're out. Strickland lasted 5 days. Another video surfaced, this time mocking a visiting prospect for swinging like a drunk ant. That night, Hendo texted, "Gym's closed to you." Strickland replied with a middle finger gif and relocated to Extreme Couture within a week. The exile didn't dim his fight stock, he later captured gold, but it burned bridges. Henderson recently broke silence on the Overdogs podcast. Great work rate, zero filter, partners are there to help, not become content. Strickland shot back on Instagram stories. Respect to Hendo, but I'm built different. Some people bruise easy. The episode rekindled debate. Should sparring be sacred or stream? Coaches from ATT to AKA chimed in, most backed Henderson. Strickland, of course, doubled down, promising sparring vlogs soon. With promotional chaos at full boil, fans asked a bigger question. After all the tweets, taps, and turf wars, who actually steps into the next cage? And where? Imagine July 4th, 2026, an octagon framed by the White House columns, fireworks shredding dusk, and Bruce Buffer's lungs competing with a Virginia brass band. The tentative lineup, still unofficial, reads like fanfiction. John Jones vs. Tom Aspinall, McGregor vs. Chandler, Strickland Adesanya 2, and Shavkat vs. Sandhagen. Oddsmakers favor Jones and McGregor, but whispers suggest Jones' surgically repaired pec may not last a full camp. Aspinall is already drilling calf kicks on livestream, chopping the GOAT. Meanwhile, lightweight politics politics churn. If Islam Makhachev dispatches Jack Della Maddalena this fall, he claims he'll entertain Ilia Topuria's challenge, but only at a neutral site, not a lawn circus. Should Islam stumble, Justin Gaethje stands ready, vowing to hand Topuria his first nap. Gaethje's timing hinges on CTE concerns. He's openly limiting wars to 1 per year. Back in welterweight world, Ian Gary and Bilal Muhammad circle UFC 319 like sharks sensing blood. Gary offers to donate half his purse to a Chicago youth program if Bilal signs. The gesture puts public pressure on Muhammad, who simply posts praying hands emojis and a shrug. Fans translate, contract still unsigned. Matchmakers, smelling leverage, threaten to pair Gary with rising Dagestani shot a bullet instead. Gary replies anyone, anywhere, but private whispers say he prefers the Chicago storyline. Then there's Sean Strickland. Gymless, but not opponentless. Rumors place him on the White House card against Adesanya, revenge tour in full swing. Strickland posted a selfie loading ammo at a range. Training camp starts yesterday. Critics call it tone deaf, approving. His followers call it vintage Strickland. With so many moving pieces, one certainty emerges. Alliances will flip, insults will escalate, and every leaked DM could shift a main event slot. Which matchup actually headlines? Only the ink on those bout agreements will tell. One unexpected hug in a Dublin pub sent shockwaves that rattled scales, gyms, and even the gates of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Feuds froze, new ones ignited, and the promise of an octagon on the White House lawn turned rumor into marketing gold. Trash talk proved its currency, screenshots its shrapnel, and loyalty its rarest commodity. Now, the question hangs in the air like a championship belt. Which rivalry do you need settled first? McGregor's presidential theatrics, Topuria's Scalegate saga, or Gary's bid to silence ChatGPT Muhammad? Drop your pick below, because in a sport where grudges pivot overnight, today's comment could be tomorrow's fight promo. Gloves on, mic's hot, the next chapter is yours to call.